Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think you'll have to listen, because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
We won't stop. We will not stop.
Sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now.
See this? How you cannot go?
Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Welcome. Come on in. You guys, come on in, family. We're going to be discussing the death of a 1-year-old that was in New York, in the Bronx, you guys. Again, we're going to be discussing this. This is on my heart. This is conversation. We're all going to look at it differently, and we're going to just talk a little bit today. Because this case will get in your feelings. It really would, because this was unnecessary. It really was. And we got a guest here today. Diesel's in the building. Hey, Diesel, say yes. Say yes. Say, I'm in the building, and I've been doing some. He has been doing. Okay, sit down. you're getting too out of hand. But Diesel's in the building, and for some reason, every time when he hears our intro, his ears go up, and he's like, where's the babies at? Where's the kids at? And I got good vibes from Diesel today. So next week will be our official starting to prompt on searching. We still got to get some things out of his mind about jumping, but he's come down so much that he's starting to do the seek and find, hide and seek. And now, since we can do that, we're going to get him to start sniffing, and we're going to see where that takes us. Okay. I think it's going to be a good thing because he loves to search. I think he loves the searching thing. And that's what they wanted to know. Would he search? And so now that he is like, yeah, I'm looking for stuff. He wants to look for stuff, and he gets a praise for that. We got to get some little things, treats for him, not the hard treats, but maybe soft treats, because we done already did all the hard treats for Diesel. And so we wanting something a little bit more tasty. And so they're teaching me, and also I am researching at the same time how I can get this dog. And they, you know what they said? They said, you're not behind. Because I'm thinking, okay, some dogs, they start at 6 months. Diesel is a year old, and we just could not get him to calm down. He just wanted so much love and attention that it was just too much. It was overwhelming. Every time we come home, he was pouncing. And I mean, he still does a little bit of the pouncing, not as bad as it was. It was like, oh my God, just get this dog somewhere to sit down, because he's just too much. And he's so big that he will knock you down just because he's happy to see you. So I want to say thank you guys for showing on up. I know that we are early. I see Tina Powers in the building. Danielle is in the building. Woke to God. C6 Banks is in the building. Sugar Mama is here. And I'm pretty sure there's other people in the building. But we a little bit early. But I just want to talk about this a little bit. This is something that we're going to do. And she said our two favorite boys, Tyrese and Cody. Yeah. Tyrese case is moving right along, but the next time they go to court, it's like November the 6th, the same day that the Cody Bixby case will go to court. Yeah. So, and I told you guys about that. It's like, okay, I can take off from work, but my school, I don't know if I could take off. And hey, to fly out there, and I have to go to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And my school starts October the 15th. My next class starts October the 15th. And the advisor literally had to call the teacher to get me into this class. So he was like, don't let me down. So, yeah. So if I do go out there, it will be for one day. SPU did such a good job with him. Thank you. Woke the guy. I think that, with all the things that's going on, as far as, with my personal life, that he probably was not going to have a chance. But I think this dog was just, he was born to search and look and things. So, now he's showing us traits that's what he wants to do. We're going to let him search and everything, and we're going to start doing that as much as we can. I told you guys, I don't know if I told you, I want to share this with you. Tina Powers said, hey, Diesel. Tina Powers said, hey, Diesel. He doesn't bark that much unless there's an intruder. But can you say hi, Diesel? Can you say hi? We ain't taught him to speak. Speak, Diesel. Diesel said, I don't know how, but when I want out, I can go woof. You can go woof. You're going to go woof, woof. You go woof, woof. You go woof, woof. He's like, he loves his mama. He said, I love you, mama. I love you, mama. He is very aware of being very protective. She said, you did, though. You are the GOAT. Ah, ha. Thank you. Thank you, Zan. That means so much to me. It really does. I know you guys sometimes believe that I just do not have an active life, but actually, in all reality, my life is in turmoil right now. I'm going every which way. I worked last night, then had to go directly from work to my job for a skills lab, which it was weird because it wasn't nothing about a skills lab. They got new people working in the office and they want to test you. I didn't think I was coming for a test. So, I'm not too happy about that. One of the tests, I was kind of like, I don't know. I'm not too comfortable. So she's like, oh, well, I'm not going to pass you. Why? Because I didn't answer one freaking question. And they're trick questions. They're sitting there like, I just don't really have time for bull crap like that. If you're going to tell me it's going to be a test, I'll be ready for a test. But if you say skills lab, I'm thinking you're going to give us some goodies, a shirt. You're going to tell us some things that's changed. We're going to have some hands-on things like, okay, how do you do this? How this is a better way to do it or something. Not, I'm literally in a freaking test. That doesn't make sense to me. But I just looked at him and was like, okay, because this is the way it is. This is why I'm telling you guys, do not do what I did. I waited until I got older, and now I'm going to school. Now I'm going to school with these kids, and I'm gonna tell you something. I don't have a problem. You can be whatever age you want. These kids, though, I kid you not. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I went back to school. I now know. Before I thought to myself, what the heck am I doing? But the really real reason why I said, let me go back to school. Number one is because I feel like it's time and I want to learn more, and I'm getting older and I don't want to be on the floor because I'm an older woman. I'm mature. So all that running around and walking around, it's going to have to come to a cease. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting older. I'm probably going to have to sit down and let the younger ones run around. But I noticed the ones that's going to school and getting this extra, initials, from LPN to RN and with the BA and blah, blah, blah. These kids don't know nothing. They're getting this stuff online. They come in, they stand there and stare at you, wanting you to do it. I'm like, you know what? I can do that too. So, yeah, I may not know everything, but I guarantee you, when it comes down to a life-death situation, I'm very good under pressure. That's the only thing, and that's what nursing is all about. You really, the fundamentals of the safety of you, the safety of the patient. Trust me, that's what you need to know. All this other stuff, it'll come as you do your work. It will. You don't have to know how many heartbeats, an infant has to a heartbeat that a patient has. You'll figure that out the next time, especially if you get it wrong. So anyway, let's get on to this conversation. Because I came on here early. I done already cooked, you guys. We're going to have Frito chili pie. So don't be like, oh, SP, get off. And, I do got to go in the kitchen and get some tomatoes together and stuff. But other than that, and get my cornbread. But we are going to have Frito pie, but I want to have cornbread with mine. And, I done already had me a little dish. So anyway, let's talk about this. Every time that they put out some new information, I would like to get it. So if you guys get it before I get it, send it to me. And we want to keep up on this case. They said this about an hour ago, but we already knew this stuff. But I guess ABC, sometimes they say Kingsbridge, the Bronx, crime scene investigators Thursday returned to the Bronx daycare where a 1-year-old died and 3 other children was injured after it's believed they were exposed to fentanyl. Investigators also returned Wednesday night and executed a search warrant for hidden drugs. They located a trapdoor in the floor of the apartment located in the play area where a large quantity of fentanyl, other narcotics, and drug paraphernalia was recovered. Now, that was in the floorboards. Authorities has already found a kilo of fentanyl stored on playmats. They found the kilo stored on playmats along with a device to press drugs into bricks for sale. According to court records, the case of the two suspects, owners, Greer Mendez, that's the woman, she's 36, and her tenant, Carlisto, that's his name, Carlisto, Avia, Acevedo, he's 41, returned to criminal court in the Bronx where they were charged with murder in connection with the death of Nicholas Dominica. The defendants did not appear, but their attorneys did. And the case was continued to October the 5th. Now, come on, Diesel, now. What you want? Additional, on Thursday, a grand jury in the Bronx returned an indictment charge Mendez and her tenant in connection with the death of the 1-year-old and the poisoning of 3 other children. The charges remain sealed until the two appear for arraignment at a later date, but they had initially been taken into custody for murder. Why would they remain sealed? There's some questions there. I'm wondering. I'm not going to say too much about this, but because I have my own thoughts, I really do, and it's just disturbing. But Bronx District Attorney Darcel Clark vowed to get justice for the children. I may have not given birth to them, he says. I may not have been parents who sent them to that daycare center, but every single person in this country feels what they feel, that they entrusted daycare centers to take care of their children, Clark said. Mendez, that's the woman, playing with toys, and Bristol remained in federal custody after they were ordered held without bail in connection to. Now, why'd you gonna bring the toy in here? Federal. My dog doing too much. Drug trafficking charges. A search for Mendez's husband, who court records said was seen on video fleeing the daycare out a back alley, is ongoing. It all started when first responders were summoned last Friday afternoon to Divino Nino Daycare for reports of cardiac arrest. Dominica died after police say he was exposed to fentanyl that was in the daycare. Acevedo Brento, that's the male that was there, and Mendez, that's the woman, were dealt 11 charges, including murder, manslaughter, and assault. Officials say Brento is a tenant who was renting a room from Mendez and is the cousin of Mendez's husband. Okay? I want it. Now, Diesel, take your toy in there. Turn that off. You tripping. Okay? He's like, I want it turned back on. Stop it. So the one that was renting the room is the cousin of the husband. The defendant tried to cover up the overdose of the babies. Prosecutors said investigators discovered video of someone carrying 2 full shopping bags out of the daycare, leaving the children suffering the effects inside and in desperate need of help. Detectives has learned that Mendez talked to her husband several times before calling 911. In the immediate aftermath of Friday afternoon tragedy, prosecutor says Mendez deleted 20,000 text messages from her phone before she was arrested, but they managed to recover them. The defendants allege conduct that led to those poisonings is unconscionable. It's inexcusable. And it's the reason that they are now in federal custody. That said the U.S. attorney. But since July, the 2 people charged conspired to distribute fentanyl at the daycare where they maintained large quantity of fentanyl despite the daily presence of children, including infants, the complaint said. Officers say the defendants also kept at the daycare kilo presses, which are designed for the recompression of drugs in powder form, commonly used by narcotic traffickers at mills or other locations where drugs are broken down, combined with filters or other narcotics, and portioned for sale. As a consequence of the defendant's drug conspiracy on or about September the 15th, this is when we was in court with the Briasia case, at the daycare, 4 children who were all under 3 years of age appeared to have experienced the effects of poisoning from exposure to fentanyl. 3 of the children was hospitalized with serious injuries. The 4th child, a 1-year-old boy, has died, the complaint said. Mendez called 911 at 2:40 p.m. to report children in her care were unresponsive. Dominica was pronounced dead at the hospital, where the others, who ranged in age from 8 months to 2 years, were given Narcan. An analysis of urine from one of the victims confirmed the presence of fentanyl in the child's body. The DEA, Frank, said fentanyl now represents the most urgent threat the nation faces. Fentanyl is exquisitely dangerous, New York City Health Commissioner said. I use the word exquisitely because I don't have another word to describe how dangerous this drug is. An emotional mayor, Eric Adams, expressed outrage at the crime earlier this week. This is totally madness that we lost a child to the dangerous substance, Adams said, and we almost lost 4 children to this dangerous substance. There needs to be a full national assault on this drug entering our city. Prosecutors said Mendez participated in the Reckless Deprivation Act by renting Brento the room in the daycare. Mendez's attorney said his client was unaware of the drugs were being stored in her daycare by her husband's cousin, who she was renting a room for $200 a week. Her only crime was renting a room to someone who had a kilo. Hey, stop it. You go sit down. Sit down and behave. So we were talking about this the other day, and let me make sure I give anybody a chance that wants to come up here. And how you doing, Miss Sanja? So there's a guy, he's from St. Barnabas Hospital. Doctor speaks on impact on fentanyl on children. Let me see what he say.
But when we start talking about children involved in this, how in our families does fentanyl? How can it touch children? What are the ways that it can be a part of a child's life?
Right. So, I mean, it's tragic that we have to talk about this, but ingestion is really the main source of overdose for children, especially children like this, toddlers. Really horrific. They are curious. They crawl around. They put their hands in their mouth. They pick up pills. They pick up powders. So really limiting access to not just illicit drugs, prescription opioids as well. Limiting access is one of the main ways we can prevent these tragedies.
You said ingestion, right? And we talked about just that 2 milligrams, which equates to about 10 to 15 grains of salt. Could be deadly, right? And we're talking about these children. We don't know exactly how they came in contact with it to cause this overdose. But in the complaint, doctor, they said that they found 1 kilo of fentanyl in this closet and some other drug paraphernalia to weigh the drugs. And then
Hey, Zan, what's going on? Miss Zan, are you in the building? I can't hear you.
Aerosolizing the air and ingestion in that way.
Stop.
But yeah, ingestion by touching some residue certainly is the amount you described, the tiny doses that are necessary to hurt children. It's certainly plausible.
Doc, before we go, and if you assume or if you think that your child has had contact, what are the only options? What are the options in fixing this situation and getting a healthy child?
Well, so first recognizing the overdose, right? So if a child was acting normally and all of a sudden they're breathing funny, they're asleep, you can't wake them up, you're shaking them, you can't wake them up, they're starting to turn blue, that could be a potential overdose. And one of the main ways that actually the only way that opioids kill is by stopping breathing. And so, breathing for the child, learning basic CPR is key. Carrying naloxone. I saw Mayor Adams had one of these kits that we actually supply in the emergency room for patients that are at risk. These are Narcan naloxone kits. Having this handy, this can be used on kids to adults, and very easy to use, and that could really save a child's life.
Doctor, we only have 20 seconds, but Charlene and I were talking about it on the set earlier, and Sam, we all want to know this question. The 3 other children who were treated at the hospital and survived this exposure, will they face long-term effects from this fentanyl exposure?
Right, so I don't know the details of those cases. If the children were intervened on in an appropriate time and paramedics and then the hospital staff were able to breathe for them and sort of breathe through that period of time that the fentanyl, which is usually only about an hour, is having the effect, then they should have no long-term effects. If they did not have enough oxygen or were sicker than we realized, then it's possible they have long-term effects.
that gives us hope. Because you see those little babies, the 1-5, you worry.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I had actually bought a microphone that I thought would work, and it just came last night.
Wow.
And I was going to surprise you and be able to come up on the link.
Yeah, I don't know why you can't. I mean,
it's got to be the phone. It's got to be something with the phone.
It's weird. You're the only phone that, you know.
Yeah.
You have to.
I
You have
just
to.
want these microphone, so I would be able just for that purpose.
Well, you know, when you plug in on the live, they ask you 2 questions. You got to give a okay, so your picture can show up, and you got to say yes to your audio too.
It didn't even give me a chance to do that this time when I came up there. It just snatched me straight on up front before I had a chance to check the audio. So
that could be it. Let's try it again some other time and see if it gives you the option to get to say yes to the audio, because we could see you really well, and I was ecstatic for that, because I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. So what's your take? What's going on? What you think about what's going on here?
Okay, so the daycare lady is lying. First and foremost, you're lying.
Right.
Okay? Because there's no way that, let's say the daycare was closed all night, and the children coming in the morning, and she didn't come down there till in the morning, you would smell something that did not smell right, whether you knew what it was or not. You would know that it was something that was getting in your throat, causing you to cough. You would notice that if you weren't used to it. You understand what I'm saying? Hello?
Yes, hold on. Diesel grabbed my stuff and took off running. Stop it. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Now, what was you saying? Sit down. Sit up. I'm not going to play with you, Diesel. I said sit. Sit. Okay. Go ahead.
So if this was a situation where the daycare owner was not used to being around that drug, when they walked into the room after they had did whatever in it all night, that daycare owner would have immediately started having the same effects as the children.
Yeah, especially if she stayed there.
Right. But because she was not having those negative effects, that means that she's used to being exposed to it.
Right.
Okay? And it's not so much that I think we talked about this last night. The only thing they had to do was process it, which is what they were doing with those large quantities. And in processing it, they probably wore a mask over their face.
Mm-hmm.
Because that prevents them from inhaling it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, it's like dust. So it's going to be all dispersed all in the air, especially if you're trying to run fans to ventilate it.
Right.
You know? And when the dust particles fall, they're going to fall to the floor, which is why they said when they lifted the mats up, the whole floor was covered with residue.
Yeah.
And so I have no mercy for her. I can't buy I didn't know it was my husband's cousin. I can't buy that. You had to know, and anyone that has anything to do with this drug has to know the danger. You don't have to, but common sense, if you can read, you know the danger of fentanyl and this opioid crisis.
Right.
So one, I'm kind of upset that she did not keep opioids on hand, the Narcan on hand. That's something that anytime you're dealing with children, you should at least keep one vial on hand.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much because the child could get exposed to something in daycare, but he could have touched something at home and then come to daycare and you can't wake him up.
Right.
You know, so Narcan should be a part of everybody's first aid kit anymore.
You know, somebody was telling me you can get it at the health department or something.
You can get it at the health department. You can get it at, I don't know what your drugstore is up there. Here, it's Rite Aid.
You mean like at Walgreens I can get it?
Yes.
I don't know.
Because Walgreens is actually the drugstore that they talked about in the article. We just don't have any in the town that I live in.
Let me see if they'll let me get it. Let me see if they let me get it. Hold on. It may even cost some money. It may even cost some money, but
it could, but I don't think so.
Let's see.
If it does, then they should be able to tell you where you can get it free of charge.
Right. Oh wow, that just hung up on me. Let me call. Hey, Diesel, stop. No, I'm gonna put you downstairs if you keep playing in the stuff. Let me see if I can call one and see if they will give it to me, because I would like to, to have some,
your job should definitely have someone.
No, we don't, and that scares me. Here, I'm gonna call this Walgreens that's at 15. Well, that's the one I called before. Oh God, this dog and his toys. Sit down, Diesel. Sit down. Sit down. If you do not sit down. Hello? They're not answering that phone. Let me call another one. You know, my dog loves to play with his toys. Girl, it's almost like a whole kid all day long. Oh, Diesel, what's wrong? Hold on. Diesel, what's wrong with you? Hold on. These are toys along. You're not scared. You all right? Here. Guess what I just had to do? Dang. Oh my God. Diesel was tearing up one of his toys and got it caught in his throat and he couldn't breathe and he was like, oh. Girl, tell me why I had to just put my hand down his freaking throat. Oh.
Is you okay now?
Yeah, I got it. Oh, Lord. Girl, I got it. Oh, my God. Lord, help me. Oh. I had to go put him up because he's like a kid. If you don't watch him, he's doing stuff. You see how that happens? Like I'm just move, go, do, and now the adrenaline's kicking in. Like here's my dang dog finna die while I'm live. Oh, God. He's like, girl, you got the. Oh Lord. Okay. Let me see here. Here we go. We call this one right here. Oh, he's something else.
Thanks for calling Walgreens at the northwest corner of South Broadway Street and 55th Street in Wichita. Para continuar en español.
Hold on. Hello? I'm live. What's up?
What time you get off live? Real soon?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to pick up the car when you get done with your live.
Honey, you probably should have called Thurman. Isn't that his car sitting up front? Yeah.
Thurman's in his office.
Huh?
He said his office.
He had his office, but his car is sitting up front and my car is sitting in the back. Yeah, that part. All right. Yeah. Oh, Lord. You there, Zan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Okay. He made me hang up from somebody. He made me hang up.
Who did?
My husband. He got
Thanks for calling Walgreens.
He got my car sitting in the back.
Continuar en español, oprima
I got 2
9.
cars sitting in the back, and he got Thurman cars sitting in the front, but he wanted me
Just
to come
to
and
let
help
you know, the updated COVID vaccine will be available at Walgreens mid-September. Check walgreens.com/schedule vaccine for the latest updates. Now, how can I help you today?
Pharmacist.
Okay, you can say refill a prescription, prescription status, get the pharmacy hours, or say help me with something else.
Help me with something else.
Okay, I'm connecting you to someone who can help. Just so you know, the pharmacy's open till 8 p.m. tonight, and tomorrow they're open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. By the way, they're closed for a meal break every day from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Please remain on the line to speak with a member of our staff.
Yeah, this is going to be very helpful if we can see where we can get this, you know.
We're sorry, our staff is answering other calls. Please hold on and we'll be with you shortly.
It's probably going to cost some, huh? It's probably going to cost some money.
We're sorry, our staff is answering other calls. Please hold on and we'll be with you shortly.
Tina Brown's going to say CPR on a dog. I didn't have to do CPR, but I would have.
We're sorry, our staff is answering other calls. Please hold on and we'll be with you shortly.
I do not know why. Huh? Let me turn it down. until they answer. What you say?
So you give CPR after they administer it?
They said
We're sorry. Our staff is answering other calls.
as long as you can.
Hold on, and we'll be with you shortly.
The guy said as long as you can keep the person breathing, because that's what kills the person. They just stop breathing,
Right.
and there's no way to wake them up.
Right. Lack of oxygen.
And that would be the long-term effect if the oxygen, if they just stop breathing, there's nothing. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. There's also a thing, and I don't know the correct name of this thing, but it's a sternum rub.
Yeah.
When you rub the sternum very vigorously and hard,
Right.
supposed to cause pain.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do that even with people that's diabetic. That is anybody that's unresponsive. We do the sternum rub.
Okay.
Yeah, we do that. I mean, we were doing that. I mean, it is right at like if you put your chin down, right there. That's where you rub, and you rub real hard with your knuckles. You rub really hard, and you go kind of up and down in a circle motion. That's how we do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were doing that. We did it Thursday. Well, what was it? Tuesday. We did it Tuesday, and then I didn't even tell people about the second situation about the woman, and she was going into a diabetic coma. And we had to do it on her too. And one thing about the staff, they know what to do. I mean, they just need some bedside manners, like. Yeah, I would like to speak with the pharmacist.
Yeah, what can I do with today?
I was interested in how can I get I guess what it called a Narcan kit.
Yeah, it's actually over the counter right now.
How much is it?
Give me 1 second here.
They're gonna say $39.99. $39.95 when it should be free.
Sorry, it's $44.99.
$44.95.
And 99 cents, yes.
Wow.
We can get it for free.
Is there any place that they're giving them out for free, like the health department or something?
No, I'm not aware of.
No. $44.99. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Wow.
I'm not gonna pay to save somebody's life. That's the wrong way to say that, but SP.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
We'll talk after this. I'll send you some.
There's got to be a place where you can get some for free. I know there is. Huh?
If they still charging, then obviously they don't consider y'all having an outbreak.
Well, Kansas is not bad, but it's getting bad. It's getting bad. But let me see. There's always free Narcan. Let me.
They give Narcan away down here like they used to give mask away.
It's provided a free Narcan nasal spray and training to community organizations. Where can I get it free? And DCCA is providing free Narcan nasal spray. That's well, it's not a spray, it's a shot.
No. Not if it's Narcan. It's a spray. Goes up the nose.
Oh, but the EMS gave the shot.
Right, but you're not a paramedic, so people on the street can't give shots.
Oh.
But we have a nasal spray that anyone can administer.
Okay. So they're giving the nasal spray in training to community organizations and any Kansas residents. So the DCCA here, I can get in touch with them later on. And if you are a first responder or public safety agency, use this form. Okay. This form is for Kansas residents and organizations for requests. Narcan kits. This is where can I get Narcan near me for free? Major retail pharmacies, pharmaceuticals may offer free Narcans. Major retailer, nonprofit organizations for people who qualify, universities, college and school campuses, pharmacies, or clinics.
Walgreens didn't know.
No, he says not that. He said not. It says that it is available to any resident or organization in Kansas upon request.
That's what I thought. Because that's the way it is here. You just got to go to the pharmacy and ask for it. So you have to get in touch with, well, I would have to here in Kansas, get in touch with the DCCA, and they will provide the free nasal spray and training to communities. It's funded for this project, and Kansas Department of Aging and Disability through the state, and you have to sign up and everything. First response request. Oh, you should get your whole staff at your job to take that training.
Yep. It says click on the buttons below to register or request a training that works best for you. And wow. Learn about the impact and all that stuff. Sample agreement with medical directors, sample law enforcement. For more information or if you have questions, please contact this for Oklahoma residents interested. They got a phone number. I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna write down the number because it's the headquarters. I'll write down the number and I will call them and see if we can get some, and then that way I will get some, and hopefully I can give some to other people who wants it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is crazy. But, you know, and this is sad. I'm going to tell you something that I did not know. I was talking to my husband the other day, and he said his friend had, I guess he seen something on Facebook that this young man had died from an overdose of Narcan. And he said that was one of his best friends, the guy that was in our wedding, as one of the guys, whatever, one of his best men's or something.
Overdose of Narcan?
No, overdose of fentanyl.
Oh.
And so he called him yesterday, and, you know, the guy, his best friend's son, died from an overdose. And he was just, he's angry, he's mad, you know, that him and a friend of his were His son and his son's friend was doing fentanyl. They both passed out. His friend woke up and left. Said he couldn't wake up his friend, so he left him. He said he wasn't breathing. And they found the kid dead. And so he was like, man, this is weird because we had never talked about fentanyl before. And now all of a sudden, this guy almost died on you. And now my best friend's son done died on him. What the heck is going on?
Oh, yeah, y'all just starting to get an epidemic down there. Down here, it's natural. It's not natural, but it's an ongoing epidemic. And we just had, now this one was really drug busting. We just had a mass overdose in our city about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right?
9
people died in a 2-block radius.
Get out of here.
In a 24-hour span. But they were not doing heroin or taking pills, which is the 2 normal ways you expect people to ingest fentanyl, right? They were smoking crack.
What?
And then the people have learned to mix the fentanyl into the crack cocaine. And fentanyl is the downer, so it makes you sleepy. And so when a person that uses crack gets it, they feel like they're not getting high because they're not getting that speedy feeling. So they keep doing more and more and more. And they end up overdosing.
Wouldn't the only thing you have to do is just roll it in the dust?
Well, what in the dust?
The fentanyl. Like if you roll the crack, because the crack comes in a rock.
Yeah, no, then it would come off on your fingers. No. These people have found a way to break down the fentanyl and then mix it with the cocaine and rock it all up together.
Well, I mean, it probably wouldn't be a rocket scientist because, you know, they cut the cocaine with the...
Our police can't figure it out.
Huh?
Our police department cannot figure out how they're locking it up.
Well, you know, this is what I try to tell people, you know, you can go to school all you want, and then you can go get someone that does crack, and they'll show you what a chemist can do. They know. Girl, I'm telling you, I met this one person before, and they were like, I mean, and I'm glad that the guy told me, but he was like, I'm no good. And I was like, why? And he was like, I'm my worst enemy. And I said, why? He said, because I can make my own. I said, make your own what? And he said, meth. I said, oh my God, why would you do that? So, you know, they know how to make this stuff, and they went.
You can get on YouTube to learn how to make meth. It's not secret recipe.
Well, here's the thing.
That's not when you told me that someone was making meth in your facility. It has a pungent smell. Even if you don't know what it is, you know something smells bad. Like Drano in the air. Something smells bad.
It has a bad smell. Contradiction agent. You're not blocked. Why are you saying you're blocked? You're not blocked. I see everything you're saying. You're good.
The police get noticed that it is a meth lab. They have to put on those whole suits. Look like a spaceman.
Right.
So hazmat suits.
Right.
You have to put on hazmat.
Yep. You would think they would have to do it with fentanyl too.
Well, they're learning more and more that you gotta have gloves on when you search a car. Because I think there's been a couple of law enforcement officers that have searched the vehicle without gloves on.
And then it's in their system.
It gets in their system and they fall out.
Okay. Let me ask you this question, because we talked about this a lot yesterday, and it wasn't a heated conversation. It was like just because it really bothered me, because I just endured someone almost dying on me from an overdose. And so it's close to me now. Like it can happen to anybody that's doing something like that. And then you're walking up on them and you don't know what to do. So, so the question I have for you is, so I'm looking at a lot of stuff. There's more information now, when you weigh out the stuff. And, you seen the movie, The Godfather? I mean, I don't know if it's called The Godfather. When the guy, I guess it's The Godfather or something like that. Like The Last Godfather or something. Where the guy, he learns how to sell drugs. He become a drug lord, and then he gets really big. And
just facing the cocaine.
Any what?
You talking about the guy that's facing that pile of cocaine?
No, I'm talking about the young cat that went back to the police. He was telling his story. So, he married this woman, and, the whole family knew, who was the women act like they didn't know, but they know because they wore the clothes, they dressed the way they dressed, they had the parties, they only hung around each other, and they only dealt with each other. You know what movie I'm talking about? And then the police, the helicopters was up, and he told the girl that was babysitting their kids, like, okay, do not make no calls from this phone. And he went to go do something, and she made the call from that phone, and they caught him. They got him, but he turned state evidence against whoever that was on top of him, and then they went into protective custody.
I have no idea what.
Oh my! Yes, you know the movie where they was in California. Anyway, that movie was so realistic. It was just so realistic. Like, people don't understand something. And it's weird to me that they watch TV. I don't even watch TV anymore, because it tells you everything. And people think, oh, that's just a movie or something. But they show how the cartel ran. And that's, see, if I didn't know no better, if I didn't come from a family of this type of, structure, I wouldn't know. But I know this is how it's ran, because this is where I came from. You know what I'm saying? I know that you don't put anybody around your product. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be different if it was little bitty product. It'd be different if it was a bag here, a bag there, something I can understand, or you're doing it. But they had weight, and so I'm looking at this like they had weight, and I'm not talking about nothing little. When they say kilos, and that's what they first took out. Then they had other kilos. And what did the man take when he ran from the alley? More kilos. This was a big deal. This was a big organization. This is not nothing small like, the guy on the corner stuff. This is a big dog. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now their whole thing is to have a front, like, which was real, or which was, the community couldn't say nothing if this person came in and that person came in. But their whole objective is not daycare. Okay, I have to get that straight. This is what I'm thinking. Their whole objective is not daycare. They're not, oh, come on. I want to get all the kids I can because we need to make money. Because they can make money off of a tenth of that kilo for the rest of the year. That little $40, $50 a week ain't no money to them. That's nothing. So when you have weight like that, you're going to be very protective about who comes in and who don't. I'm just thinking, this is my thinking. This is my thinking. And remember, we were talking about this the other day? And I'm sitting there going, okay, when the mom, not the mom, but the woman, Mendez, was there deleting 20,000 text messages, I guarantee you, they're going to find out that the people that had their kids there, they all family. They kin. They went to school. They know, and they just watch each other kids. They don't let somebody else just come in off the street and be that close, because if something come up missing, then what? You know what I'm saying? And what about the workers? They said something about the workers ran out. They got workers. You only got 3-4 kids there. Why would you have workers? Why would you have 3? You can have 7 to 8 kids per person. So they didn't even have 7 to 8 kids there. Why would you have 2 to 3 workers and you only got 3-4 kids?
That's a good question, SP. That's a good question. I can answer it for you.
This was an operation, and they were watching the kids while they were just doing what they do.
Right. That's very well could have been.
And if they probably getting statements from the other people, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I had an operation like that, first of all, I wouldn't let just your kid come because you need daycare. Because I don't need your $50 a week. Right. Now, I would let my kin folks, because when they come, at least I know they know what I do and do. That's my theory. That's just my theory. My theory don't have to be right, but I guarantee, I just believe, without a doubt, I just believe when they open up those messages that some of the parents, all the parents, to be honest with you, that had their kid in the facility, they all kin, they all together. I'm just saying.
We had this conversation last night. I can't agree with that, but I'm curious to hear what the rest of the chat thinks about that.
Well, this is what I'm thinking. Yeah, I want to know. I would like to know, because the way she made her statements and when she made her statements, I mean, her child died Saturday. He went in distress Friday. He died Saturday. She was on there Sunday talking about, well, God gave him to me and he just wasn't here for a little time and this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, then you got 3-4 workers running out the building asking for help, and you only got 4 kids in there. Why you got 3-4 workers and only got 4 kids in there, and the ones upstairs by themselves, that's 10. I just believe that this is.
I didn't know about the workers, but after our conversation last night, I did do a little bit of research on the family.
Okay.
that the husband and the wife have just given their lives to Christ within the last year.
Okay.
And they are very much right now currently active in the church, learning to be, strong Christians, blah, blah, blah. So that's what I was able to find out. And
oh, you talking about the mama that lost the baby?
Yes.
Okay.
And her husband.
Okay.
And that just leads me again to say that I believe she made that statement because A, she's still in shock, and B, you're a young Christian, you're repeating what everybody's saying. What people are saying to you is what you're saying to other people.
Well,
God can take them away. I remember when my daughter died, and my pastor telling me those exact same words, and at the time you're in shock, you're numb.
I get that. And we talked about that too. I get that. But I also spoke on the difference from, it being natural and a different from this is an incident that somebody's recklessness, their greediness, putting your child in, okay, my mom, she died, and I mean, I grieve. And everybody be like, oh, that's me, we all grieve differently, and this was so hard on my heart because we are literally coming numb, thinking that, oh, we all grieve differently. You know what? We're human. We grieve. We're going to grieve. We're going to go through the process of grieving. It doesn't matter if it comes, this stage comes before that stage or that stage. But when somebody takes your kid out of this world, there's an anger that's unbelievable. There's an anger, and nobody can tell me it doesn't. I love the Lord. I love the Lord. But if you killed my kid, I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to speak it. I'm going to let you know my anger and my wrath. And if I can get my hands on you, Lord forbid that, you're going to have some problems. I don't care how big. I don't care how bad. I'm just saying. Now, if my child died of natural causes, it's a difference. There's a difference.
I think there's a big difference. And again,
but death is death. But what I'm saying, that there is a difference when somebody takes your child's life, then they just passing away. I mean, you have to give.
And I'm curious to see what other people in the chat have to say. We both know where we both stand on that.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what others in the chat have to say.
Now, the only thing I do have to say, because, and I don't wish this on nobody, but we do have people that has lost their child in our chat or lost someone close to them just by natural causes. But we have lost people and thought they had something to do with a death of a sister, a brother, or cousin. Like when my brother died, I'm gonna tell you something. First they said it was just an aneurysm and everything, and and I was like, okay, I was still angry. It still hurt. I couldn't get over it. But then they came back and they told my mom they want to exhume the body because the girl that was with my brother when he died, her mother died the same way, and they think it's foul play. Now I'm angry. Now I'm like, okay, I better not ever see that woman because I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm telling you, I know. So I said, I don't want to know what the outcome is. I don't want to know. I told my mom, I don't want to know. I ended up getting a job at this place. And when I got there, she was there. And she looked at me. And I kind of was shocked when I seen her. Didn't say nothing. And I thought about it. I think it was maybe about a whole minute. I prayed to God. I said, Lord, I'm finna go do this. You know, I know what I said. I ain't going to say it here. But I know what I was finna go do. I went back around the corner to approach her. And she done ran out the building and left. Because yeah. Because I was finna take her out. I just know that's what I was gonna do. And I haven't seen her since. She knew that too. But if she didn't do anything, why did she run?
Let me all grab too tight. And his family over everything.
Right.
So, common sense, if you told me that, and we just talk on the phone, people in real life that know you, or one of your family members, they know how you get down.
They know I'm not wrapped too tight when it comes to my family.
Right, and family over everything.
Yeah. I get in fight when people were messing with my brother. And girl, they be big like King Kong. I be all in their face like a little bitty dog. And I be standing toe to toe. And I wish you would. And I really wish you would. Because you're going to have to bring 100%. Here we go. And I'll be packing too. Because I'm not scared. I might act like I'm scared. I don't want to fight. I definitely don't want to argue. But if you touch him, if you say anything else to him in a, derogatory way, and he comes to me, this is my brother that is 5 years older than me. And I'm very protective. Even with my kids, I was like that. My son was a little scary. And we were going down the street, and this guy got to cussing at my car as I went by, and I said, who is he talking to? My son was like 12 years old, 13. He was like, me? I said, what is he talking to you like that? He cussing at the car, talking about, B, you better go on, da-da-da-da-da. He just right down the street from where we live at. And it was a white guy, whatever. So I was like, okay, well, what's his problem? And my son said, I don't know. I said, okay. So I backed up the car all the way to him. And I said, you got a problem? He said, I ain't got a problem with you, ma'am. I got a problem with him. I said, well, if you got a problem with him, then you got a problem with me. He was like, I don't have a problem with you. I said, what is your problem with my son? He said, that knee, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I did? I popped my trunk right there, pulled out my jack, my fork. Yeah, I pulled out my fork, the thing that do the wheel. The four-way, I pulled out my four-way and I said, do you want some? Because you're going to deal with me. He's not going to be scared to walk down the street. You're going to quit hollering at my kid because you got a problem with me right now. Now, what is it? What we're going to take care of this right now. His wife, this is how old this man is. His wife come down the street talking about, man, we don't, my husband drunk. I don't freaking care. I'm finna sober him up really quick if he keeps hollering bees at my car with my son in it. My son is only but 12 years old. I get him. And he was like, ma'am, I don't have a problem with you. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm only about 5'2". My son was in the car scared. He's like, mama, don't do that. Hey, you cannot run. What you running for, son? You can't walk down the street every time when he sees you. You're going to run and hide and you're scared because he's talking crap. Let me tell him who he's dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because when you realize that, especially you live here, you got nowhere to run. Your back is up against the wall. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, when you keep running, they keep running and chasing you, and until and here's my kid, I'm not gonna be around. So I'm letting you know that if I have to come to your house, or if the police gotta come, yeah, send me to jail. This ain't the first time. This is not my first rodeo that I have to stand up for my child. I had to stand up for my daughter too. But you know what I'm saying? This world just thinking that since there's no man in the house and there's nobody protective. I have a lot of brothers. You know what? And the weird thing about it is, and I kid you not, my brothers know me so well that they call me, but when I call them, they scared. I mean, I can call them and they be like, "Oh, sis, I know you'll handle it." And I said, "Well, if you don't come, I will." And they don't come because they think it's too much, because they call me and I don't start stuff because I'm not a angry, agitated person. But if I know that you're not making sense and I gotta hide and I'm scared and my kids are scared, you're doing too much.
Right.
And my kids should not be scared to walk down the street. But anyway, on this Narcan stuff, what do the chat think about the parents? Did they know? Do you think they knew? Some people be like, well, why would the mother bring her? She knew, Come on now. That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight.
I don't believe the mother knew.
That's a lot of weight. And I think that I don't think we're going to ever know, to be honest with you, because when they trying to get a conviction, they're not going to bring up that the mother or the father of the child knew. But
you never know.
The husband,
Telling on each other.
see, Freddie said the mother knew. Valerie said the mother knew something.
They think the mother knew?
Mother knew something. She knew something. The father, what the father said? Oh, let me see. Who is this? It just went up. Crystal Powell said, and she knew it, SP. The mama knew. Because look, the father said something, and the father said, we never had a death in our family. And who ain't never had a death in their family? That doesn't even make sense to me. We ain't never had a death in our family. And I mean, he was crying because you know what? Okay, the Bible tells us, God knows how to give good gifts. And also the demons, the devil do too. They know how to give good gifts to their kids and stuff like that. I mean, if somebody die in my family, as good as I want to be, I'm not saying I'm a good person, but I'm going to cry. Even if somebody was a pedophile or something or whatever, and somebody died in their family, they going to cry too. They going to cry even if the pedophile died. They still going to cry and mourn for the person that they cared about or loved or raised or was an auntie to or whatever. They still going to cry. So people wondering if they cry or don't cry, that shows that the care. That just shows that you cared about a person. But that's nothing. You can cry for. I cried for somebody that I know killed somebody before. I mean, I still didn't want that person to die, and I cried, but I know that they took somebody out, but I still cried for him because I cared for that person. And I know that person was a bad person. And when I say bad person, I know they did bad things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So crying or not crying doesn't change the fact if she cried or not cried. I'm just saying that kind of weight, you don't put somebody close to you just because you want $50, because you don't let just anybody come in. Because what if somebody knew I was a big king, because that's what it is, a pen. a big pen, kingpin, right?
Right.
And because that kind of weight, they do just not a corner store or person. They don't deal with little bitty stuff. They deal with people. And so if you knew that I was selling kilos or whatever, and kilos. Well, no. But here's the thing. You could be a sister. You can be a cousin. You can be a best friend. I don't believe they let outcomer kids come to that place, because who would have to pick them up? Sometimes the dad pick them up. He could be a pen too. You don't want a pen close to your stash.
If those people, any of those people, not just the child who died, but any of those parents knew what was going on in that daycare center, they all need to lose their children.
I'm trying to tell you, one thing I'm trying to say is, and I just know this for experience, I just do, that when you're dealing with stuff like that, you don't put other people around it. You just don't. And family do be around it. Family and only people that you know, like you cannot just have Tom, Dick, and Jerry dropping their kid off, and then they see who walking in, and they be like, oh, that's King Tut, and King Tut got weight, so let's go over there, and I seen him over here, or I seen him over there. You know what I'm saying? And so now they might have the girl. You putting a lot of people, kids and stuff in danger. So when you want to secure that, only the people you deal with, other pens, other kings, sisters, brothers, cousins. That's the only people you deal with. Look, she renting a room. She act like she was renting a room to someone she not know. Oh, that's her husband's cousin. That's the only people that is around in that situation. That's what I believe. And I don't think, and you know what? And I think if there is some kin, we're gonna find out they're kin some kind of way. And then what? Then would you think that?
If I find out that they're kin any kind of way, and has any type of inkling or awareness that these people were in the game and still took their children there, I think they should lose their children.
You think they're going to come out and say, oh, yeah, by the way, we're kin. Oh, yeah, by the way, we were best friends from kindergarten.
I'm thinking if it gets to a point, because they already started off with the bed. You see what I'm saying? You're already starting off with somebody never coming home. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Somebody's never coming home. So now, if they get to the point where the one's going to tell on the other one, the wife's going to tell on the husband's cousin is going to tell on the wife, whoever tells first and tells the full story that's how the feds work. Whoever tells first get the deal.
You know what? We'll see if they come out, and they may water it down, but I just firmly believe, because I see how it works. Look.
That's what I believe is gonna happen.
Look at where I work at.
Right.
Look at where I work at. All my relatives are there. We're all kin, and people don't know it, but we all are kin. And they're looking at me and I'm like, oh, you're going to tell Sheila on me? They're like, yeah, they're calling Sheila talking about, hey, Sonny did this, Sonny did that. And she was like, leave Sonny alone. Because guess what? She's married to my first cousin. And you think it's happening just in facilities? No, it happens like that through. Remember when we were talking when I got on? I was like, I don't have nothing to worry about because she's going to harm me because I'm family. I didn't even go in and do a UA. I didn't go in doing nothing but signing the paper, getting on the payroll. Because that's what family do. They put people in the positions, especially if you qualified for them, which I was, to make sure that, the first thing a woman came up to me and she was like, I hate Sheila because Sheila this, that, and the other. She be giving all the time to her daughter and her son and da-da-da-da-da. You know what I went and did? I called Sheila up and I said, hey, you need to get rid of her. I'm tired of hearing her talk to me about you. She don't even know who I am, and she's telling me that she's going to get you. Next thing I know, she was gone. You see what I'm saying? Next thing I know, she was gone.
I understand what you're saying, but this is what I believe is going to happen. Behind the scenes, now what we can see it, behind the scenes, the husband.
This is big weight. This is big. This is not going to be where we can go in and talk to people. I'm telling you, we're not.
I believe it's going to happen. Behind the scenes, the husband's people, whoever he moving this for, because that's a lot of weight, so that's cartel.
Mm-hmm.
That's not nobody on the street. That's cartel.
Yeah.
They are going to make a deal with your cousin, the one that was written in the room. We got your family. We got you. Take the charge.
Yeah.
Then the woman who owned the daycare is going to get off with a slap on her wrist.
Nope.
Yeah, because she don't say she didn't know, and part of taking the charge is going to be the cousin saying that she didn't know. I didn't call my husband and warn him. I just called him and told him something's not right. I need you to come home.
She could have saved that child's life had she called 911, just like them other kids' life got saved with a shot of Narcan. She could have saved that life. But instead of saving the child's life, if that's what she was really there for to do, why would you call your husband? You know what? When in a state of emergency, the last person I'm going to call is home to my husband and say, what do I do? I'm going to call 911, the people that can help me. You don't go calling your husband. She knew. And you know what? This...
Okay. Is that the cousin's going to take the charge.
True.
And he's going to get paid on the back end. He'll be taken care of in lockup. His family will be taken care of while they're on the outside. And the daycare owner, she's going to get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. Now, I could be wrong. And it could all flip. Like if she's scary, or they got good officers, they can scare her enough that she'll flip on her husband.
Yeah. But she's not going to do that because she's going to be dead. She'd be dead person walking.
Yeah.
Why flip and get out here and die?
Right.
They'll just tell her to take the charge. Do the 10 years, 15 years or whatever. But she gone. She going to do something. But this is right. We'll see. But one thing we do agree on, this is cartel. This is not no little bitty stuff. We cannot get in there and find out and ask questions because, girl, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
Even calling them to ask a question, they will kill you.
It's definitely cartel way. Ain't no little onesie twosie on the street coming up with 8 or 9 kilos and you left them.
True that.
And you left them. So if you left that much, what did you take?
Right.
Did you take that much more weight plus some? Did you take that much weight and money? What did you take?
Yeah. And he's never gonna tell what he took. He could say I took a scale or something, or I took my clothes, or she took, she's not going to tell on him. I guarantee you. She's the type of woman that she's going to take that charge. Yeah, because it was in her daycare. Her name is licensed over that. She allowed that to happen. Huh?
If she takes that charge, she'll never have a daycare again.
Girl. Okay. Yeah. You're right. The daycare was just a thing. But
if you keep screaming, I didn't know, and he says she didn't know, and the state's not trying to spend a lot of money for a case they could possibly lose.
They're going to spend a lot of money on this one. They're going to spend a lot of money on this one. This was a big...
You'll never get to the cartel, so what's the point?
This was a bus that wasn't even supposed to be a bus.
Right.
This was an accident, and then it became a bus. Right. So they
never going to get to the client. Police know.
Yeah.
You were never going to reach the cartel.
Right. Well,
okay. Never.
That's why he took the stuff. That's why he took the stuff out of there. The stuff was more important than his wife. The stuff was more important than anything else. And this crazy. This crazy. This crazy. This is crazy. It really is.
I agree, Valerie Montgomery, if they find him.
Yeah, he probably went back to Mexico. They're saying that they're not from Mexico. Where are they from? Honduras or something?
They're Dominican.
Dominican? Yeah. Yeah.
Dominican Republic.
And they don't play. They do not play. And this is what people don't understand. This is like they've been doing this this ain't like their first rodeo. This is where somebody done died, and now you're being uncovered. This is the season of uncovering a lot of things, and this right here is starting to happen. You're going to start seeing people making bad decisions, making mistakes, and then things are happening, and everybody's like, well, I don't know. The mama, she didn't know. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, until you start looking at those text messages of what the mama said to you and what you said. It ain't just, see, right now they're saying 20,000 text messages. I don't believe just to him. I believe to the people that had their kids there. And wait until they start uncovering and stuff. You're gonna see some stuff where they knew each other ahead of time, and then it's gonna be like, oh, I met her at the park and she told me this and she told me that. I'm just saying, I'm never going to try to talk to any of them because I know better. That would put people I know in bad situations to even go that direction. I'm just not. It's way above and over my head. I'm just not. I'm not even going to try. I'm going to see, and we're never going to know all of it because, like you said, they're going to make deals. And some people are going to be, but when the guy came on, and I didn't even say anything about this the other day, but I mean, I'm just thinking, the guy said, we never had nobody die. What do you mean you never had nobody die?
Yeah.
We all had somebody that's died. We all. That don't even make sense. In your family, you guys never had nobody die in your family? Or was he just not speaking correctly because he's still emotional and he was just talking about his kids? And she got a lot of kids. The mom has a lot of kids. She has twins. She had an 8-year-old and she had another kid, and da 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 da. Okay. Or was and they said that the kid wasn't there but maybe a week or so. I don't know. But for me, I would say this. If I was in the position of who owned the daycare or owned the drugs or whatever, I promise you, I don't know you, and you want to bring your kid in my daycare, but I don't know you. I don't know who you're connected to. I don't need you sending this person or your brother or your cousin or such and such to come pick up a kid and see me and know me, or know that I carry weight, and then now I got problems because this is supposed to be something that is a front, is a cover. So I wouldn't do that. So the only people that was coming in and going out is either dealers, sisters, family, friends, or part of the organization. That's all I can see. And they got kids. So why don't I just take care of their kids while they work? And the mother, she takes care of older people. That's what they said. She works somewhere to take care of older people. She might work at a facility. And they asked the mother that one question. They was like, did you see anything out of the ordinary? And she said no. But I thought that the daycare was on the main level, and where they mixed the stuff and did this, to put it all together, was in the basement. Because they said that's where all that stuff was, where the scales was, where the presser was in the basement. Well, that's where the kids was, in the basement. Anyway, you there?
Yeah.
We're gonna see. We're gonna watch this. Let me.
I'm curious to see how this turns out.
We gonna see. Once again, we gonna see. I'm gonna get off of here and go move this car. I guess help my husband move a car in my nightgown.
Okay, well, thank you very much for having me up here.
I'm glad that you called in and we talked about this. We talked about it. Oh my God. You just scared me.
You need to be scared.
Diesel just got through choking and I had to save his life. I mean, God, he just was like, I was like, Diesel. And he was like, and I had to put my hand down his throat. All righty.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. I got to go help him. And you done got my keys in your hand.
Your keys was on the hoodie of the car.
Oh, my goodness. Diesel something else.
What, he didn't bit off one of them toys?
Yeah.
He done it
and then he wouldn't come to me. He was running. He was running around, and then foam started coming out of his mouth, and then I had to put my hand, and he just wouldn't even let me get to him. And then I stuck my hand down there, and then there was a little piece came out. I was live when it all happened, babe.
So he was in the house.
Yeah, we came in the house. I
don't know about him and his toys.
Yeah, we're gonna have to he wants to tear them up, but he can't eat them, Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get off of here. We still got time, right?
We don't have to go.
What happened? It's not ready.
They're gonna bring it down tomorrow because they don't have to work.
You was gonna go pick up a car? Are you sure? You sure we don't have to go? I made some chili in there. Some chili. What are you looking at me for? Okay. She said, slow down. Have a blessed day. Hey, you guys, we're gonna continue discussing about this, and we're gonna wait on the Cody Bixby case, and we're gonna be waiting on the Tyrese case also. Cody Bixby case is gonna come first. I don't know what's gonna happen on that. This is good conversation. This is good topic. I love it. I love it. And it's nothing wrong with having a theory. I want you guys to know. I love when people have their thought, because I learn from what they say, and I learn from why they think what they think. And don't get me wrong, you know, my thought is only but the theory of what I see, and it's hard to explain what I see, because people want to know, well, why do you think this, or why do you see that? And it's just some things, when you lived around that type of environment, that's what I seen. And so that's how I came up with my conclusion. Doesn't mean it has to be right. Zan's theory can be right too. I don't know how she came up with hers, is by what they're saying. But I just came up with mine because that's what I see when it comes to my family. And I do know about, you know, big organizations like that, because I'm not a part of my family, but I do know what they do, you know. And when we just didn't have nobody else around, and they did take care of my kids, you know, and I knew. I'm not going to be no saint up here like I don't know, but I don't know everything. Everybody moved differently. I get that. But if they had something big or whatever, they're just not dealing with any and everybody just for $50 on the side. They're just not, because they're big, you know, they're pins. They don't move like that. They can care less about your $50, you know. But, you know, anyway, that's how I see it. And it makes sense to me. And some things just don't make sense to me, because I can't see it no other way. Because, you know, sometimes you got to think like a criminal. You ain't got to be a criminal, but you got to think like a criminal. Once you think like a criminal, you can pretty much know their next move or how they maneuver. And like I said, you know, that's why sometimes it's good to talk to other people, because when you talk to other people, they have experiences too. And they may not tell you all this and all that. And I'm not going to tell you all this and all that either, so you can decipher and think you can understand me, because I'm a 380 or 360, basically 360. Once you turn your life around, you don't go looking back. That don't mean you don't know this stuff. Anyway, I'm finna get off of here. You guys have a good day. It's Friday, and we're gonna see each other Monday. Be good, be safe, and be nice to each other.